Hello and welcome to Arm with Controllers. This is Fabs and today I am playing Kurushi Final, a very bizarre puzzle game from Japan, unsurprisingly. So, how do we describe this game? I liken it to Tetris if, when failing at Tetris, you instead were crushed by blocks and fell into an endless abyss with nothing to console you other than the mocking knowledge that you have a really low IQ. It will make sense in the end. Okay, so the basic premise is, you're this dude here, you've got all these blocks you have to get rid of, and yeah, that's basically all there is to it. I have to allow the black blocks to roll off the edge, and in doing so I need to destroy the green ones and the regular colour ones. So there we go. But yeah, I've got to do all this while not being killed, which is, fair enough. Also, I need to, it's advised that I do this, I clear all the boxes in a certain number of turns. If you look at the top right, you've got a counter there, and that helps me get my score up, and also if I get a perfect or a great, which means I don't destroy any black blocks, I get an extra row added to my table here. So it means I have a better chance of surviving, and so on. Okay, so how's this work then? So I've got these crazy green ones here. They're advantage blocks. You destroy them, you get an extra bunch of you get an extra destruction square thingamajig, which takes out all the adjacent cells, which is kind of cool. As you can see there, manipulating those is vital for your getting a perfect. Now, I don't claim to be any good at this game. I'll be the first to admit that. But, as you can see here, eventually, the more you play it, the more you start to notice patterns, you figure out how to manipulate them and whatnot, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, this is the basic premise of this game, really. You want to avoid getting crushed, you don't want to fall off the edge, and so on. It's deceptively simple, but it's really well done. And of course, once you've destroyed all the... Well, you can actually speed up the blocks there with the square button, which is helpful, because otherwise you have to sit and wait for ages. But there we go. Alright, so, here I am, I'm this dude here. Don't ask me anything about plotline or whatever. As near as I can tell, this dude just doesn't like blocks. I mean, I have, in my personal headcanon, I view this game as being a dystopian tale of people trapped in a terrifying world where they're forced into deadly IQ tests. And they have to destroy blocks in order to survive and whatnot. It's all nonsensical, yes, but quite frankly, now I've planted the idea, I want to see fanfiction based on Kurushi, so let's go. Start now, please. Now, one thing I do love about this game, first off, the perfect and great, and in addition to that, the soundtrack. I mean, just have a listen to this. It's crazy, over-the-top orchestral stuff, but bizarrely, it works really well with the with how this game is. There's a certain drama to it, which makes no sense whatsoever because this is just a Daft Block game. So, maybe I think it's the really sparse atmosphere in that all we have really is darkness and blocks, as well as this dude here. Okay, so that's the first level out of the way. I'm just that good, yes. So you get a bonus at the end based on how many rows you've got left, which is pretty cool. So, I've shown you how to play the game. Now, you might be asking, okay, so what happens if I destroy a black square? What happens if one of those blocks falls on top of me? Don't worry, I've got you covered, as the ominous music here, it will demonstrate. So here we are, second stage, new background. As you progress in the stages, you'll find you get this kind of change. In addition, you end up with columns 5, 6 or even 7 deep, if I remember correctly. So it's it gets to the point. It does get quite a bit more difficult. Okay, so here I am. I've got these irritating black squares in the way. There we are, just destroyed one. So, what happened? You might have heard the explosion in the back there. Basically, I've now lost a row. And there we are. You get crushed by a block. You look, all the black squares that fall off, they take out that many rows. You can hear the destruction in the background. And in addition, you don't have to repeat the this particular puzzle. So really, it is in your best interest not to die. Of course, one problem with the old getting perfect. Well, if you do allow black squares to blow up, you have thrown away your chance of getting a perfect or a great. And of course, without those, you don't have long enough playing fields to solve further puzzles, which, as you can see here, means you're probably going to die horribly. Now, I'm in an unwinnable situation here. There is nothing I can do. So, let's watch the death, shall we? And thus, one man's eternal struggle with blocks comes to a sticky end. Godspeed, sir. Okay, so that's my final score. Oh, it's a cute little block fellow. And thus comes the game's biggest middle finger. Yes, according to this, I have an intelligence quotient of 73. I apparently function below the average. Thanks, game. Now, I'd like to point out, this is of course not to be taken as an actual IQ test. If you doubt my intelligence, then, well, screw you. I know I'm smart. Shut up. Okay, so, that's the basic game. I'm going to have a shot at the survival mode, which is basically gives me a chance to put all the crazy skills to practice. So, what is the deal with Kurushi then? This game in particular is actually a sequel to the original Kurushi Intelligent Cube. Cube being spelt with a Q because it's just that crazy and wacky. That and then IQ, well, Intelligent Cube becomes the acronym IQ for Intelligence Quotient. Oh my god, it's like they knew what they were doing. There was, I don't think there was a plot on that one. I mean, the only exposure I had to the original came from a demo disc that came bundled with my PlayStation when I got it. So, needless to say, I was quite pleased to find this kicking around on the PSN network. So I've got this on both my PSP and the PS3. I'm just that sad. So yeah, I don't understand precisely why we have a particular dude running around here. You can unlock further characters for usage. There's a dog, a polar bear, there's a variety of other people as well. I think they do all have different stats. I think it depends on their speed and such like. And yeah, it's just a deceptively simple game, but it works really well. I can't help but enjoy it. So here we go. Here's the main crux of the survival mode, because you have to really make sure that you get the puzzles sorted as swiftly as possible, because as you can see here, puzzles wait for no man. They will come and get you, given the opportunity. That's a terrifying thought, isn't it? So, as with the main game, you really want to be getting as many perfects and greats, just to give you that breathing room. Okay, so, let's skip along for a little. I just wanted to show this off. It's really weird that I managed to stop the destruction mid-happening. Now, if you look at the bottom right, you'll notice I've got 3 red squares there. You see, one thing that happens is, for each regular square that comes off, one of those squares at the bottom right there will that will fill up. And when you let 3 regular cubes go off, as indicated there, you lose a row. So it's not just a destruction of black cells that that does this. It's again, it really encourages you to basically, perfect and great yourself. Now I'm going to dangle over the edge because I'm an idiot. Whoa, look at me go. Alright, so survival mode also likes to throw this at you. This is ridiculously familiar, to me at least, for a BBC One game show. It was on Saturday evenings, well, Saturday afternoons in the late 2000s. I've racked my brains for hours trying to figure out what show it was, but I'm never going to know. So this was a pointless non sequitur. My apologies. Okay, so as we can see here, the the survival mode puzzles aren't waiting for me. And there's a particular problem with the green cells, the advantage cubes in this, because as you saw there was one still hanging around when there are black cubes encroaching my space. It can really screw you over if you don't have those taken out as soon as possible. So there we go. Luckily the game is nice enough once you've perfected your puzzle to get rid of the dark cubes, because otherwise you'd be in for a nightmare. It would suck, and not in the fun way, the bad way. It's interesting that the survival mode is keeping a tally of your perfects as well. It's sneaky. Now, Kurushi Final as a sequel had a few extra features compared to the original. This survival mode was added, a bunch of new characters to play as. They even also had right from the get-go what was originally ununlockable, a create your own puzzle feature, which is quite nice. Okay, so yeah. Remember what I said earlier about the advantage cubes hanging around? Yeah, that's the upshot of it. Because the problem is, if you've got one of those hanging around and you can't delete it, it screws over your attempt to use future ones. Because obviously you're going to find green cubes in there. And I see both of them, I have to activate them, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to use these ones here. But either way, now I'm just losing my... I've lost so many rows now, it's become quite a pain. You can actually keep track of the number of rows on the right hand side, that little column there. But no, thus falls a Superman. Goodbye, Kurushi fellow. Godspeed. You were 13 perfect, so that's quite nice, I think. That's not brilliant, but respectable for someone who hasn't played this game in years. That's right, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Oh, it's a cute little box. What you got for me, little cube? Ooh, congratulations. Okay, so a box is opened and there's a dude inside who's walking out. I don't get it either.